You'll see 1 minute later on, the time when you need HaShem, you'll wonder why. How come that Rishoyim are worse than me? You get things and I'm so good and so kind. How come? Bilam doesn't understand. What happened to him? Bilam can't understand. I said the words of God. I told him I can't say about God's word. Why did you give me the money? How come? At the end, he gets bushes. He loses both camps. How come? What did I do wrong? I only said the words of God. I praised the Jews. Ma tov lecha Yaakov, I said. I said Kari, they're like lions. Beautiful words, I said. I brought sacrifice to God. What did I do? If I had the Ratzon Hara, come on. Does that mean so much? You know, I listened to God anyway at the end. I told Allah. Meanwhile, Yad Ratzon Hara. He gets killed. Bilam, Hayalo Ratzon Ra. Bilam, Naragata. We're towing the line 1,000, was 2,000 years for what? Why do we wisen up? Why do we think that somehow in our generation we're going to outsmart God and we're going to win, and the troubles and going in Golos is all finished? Because the Zionists say, Israel, we here to stay. The second there's trouble here, 200,000 Israelis ran out of Israel. They're all over America and Europe. They stay. Their money's all over the world. They stay. We're the dopes that come. We believe in God. We believe in answer. Well, okay, very nice. Do they have confidence in the government and the army? No way. We have confidence in God, so wherever we are, we're in America and we believe in God. We have to do what? We're zocher to come to Israel. We're zocher to be in Yeshiva. And do tshuva. And agra the tiny tzedakah. The schar of the tiniest is giving tzedakah. Because if you fast and you have to realize you have to give charity, giving charity is the final end of fasting. Why? Because you feel injustice happen, you feel justice happen. So you want to help other people who have problems, and Mida can give Mida, poor people, Yeshivas, Torah, the Cheder, you want to help out. So you help out, so Mida can God helps you. But you have to put your hand in your pocket and do it. And then this is the starting of the 3 weeks where you have to sit down. We have to think of our identity. We think already Bali Tshuva, we have to know our identity. Where are we? What are we doing? How come the Jewish nation is still all messed up? How come we're where we are? How come there's so many intermarriages in the world? How come these things are happening? There's no real shalom. There's no real lamdonim. Why is the situation this way? Of course, we're still Nod, we're still doing the Tikkun of Kayin, of Ari Miklat, of Ritzicha. Somehow we did something. It was terrible Tzarat HaShem. To such a degree we had to destroy his temple, and we pay a terrible price. We had to do something really wrong. We can't say, well, we'll strike it up with the time and something happened. We got to change. Whatever it is, we got to change. If it is sinner scheme, you get obviously you'll go and help Makariv people. In the summer, you meet people, say, come to the Diaspora Yeshiva, learn Torah, come quickly, learn Torah, learn more Torah, teach them Torah. Prepare yourself for a Rosh Hashanah. There's 3 weeks for Tshuva. Not one day. Why? Yeah, first of all, before it happens, you hear the enemy is coming. Then he knocks on your door, and then he starts burning. Right now, you have the beginning of the 3 weeks. They're surrounding the city. Da-dum, nothing happening. A few little things happen. Very terrible. Da-dum. You have 3 weeks before Tisha B'Av, which is destruction. Because God does not send down troubles right away. You have to get your points and save up your stamps to get the trouble. It doesn't happen by itself. We have these 3 weeks to do tshuva. Not say, oh, it's so hot. So hot. Maybe I deserve to be in Gehenna. I'm lucky I'm not there. Lucky it's not so hot. What's the point? How can I learn? Oh, how can you learn? How can you know? I got to prepare now for the vacation. Got to make money. Got to go. Very nice. I got to have a relief from Torah. Got to get rid of the yoke of Torah and the yoke of God, and I got to do things and succeed in life. And very nice. And organize myself. Got 3 weeks. I have to do tshuva. I think of our ways. So we'll have what Myron went to. Okay. Let's put our heads down like we normally do. For 3 minutes and think how we can do tshuva shleima. Not only in our own selves, bein odom LaHashem, bein odom LaChavero, bein odom LaKihila, bein odom LaRab, bein LaIshtoi. There's so many things to think of. Okay, let's go. Which is easier to take care of? A material that's like uranium, which is a volatile type of a unstable type of a material or chemical structure, or something which is made out of irregular molecular structure. That's non-volatile. Naturally, something which is non-volatile. So now, if I say to you, we have 2 types in 2 ways. One can go like Beis Shammai and actually pull, because God created the human being. The soul of the human being could be outside of the man almost, totally out, except maybe for his heart that exists. So there's such a possibility. But the difference is, it's very volatile. What? Volatile. While the other parts, all like Beis Hillel, where the body and the soul are somehow makes a zivug, a connection, and it's your job through the musar, Torah, and the kedushas hamitzvahs to put together, and also to remove the gaiva and the taiva, the kas, etc. Although it's a hard job, it's much easier to handle. And therefore, man can master his soul and body much better if they follow the position of Beis Hillel above Beis Shammai. And he'll be moshel al olam hakotan, his body can then be involved with the olam hagadol. Because every Tana had the ability to do Tchias HaMesim, revive the dead. Every time. We see Rebbe Lezer try to show I'm right. And he said, let this fall down, let that fall down. And they want to talk about the Tanur of what? What? Achnai. And there's a question is it called the Kli or not a Kli? Because if you have like the body, we have the spinal cord, which is the essence of the life of man. How flexible is the spinal cord is how long the person is considered to live. And between the spinal cord, let's see how pieces of sand are with this. Not exactly, it's cut off a little bit. The spinal cord, each one of the spinal vertebrae are like cut off a little bit. Question is it alive or not alive? Beis Hillel says it's alive. But still it's together somehow, miraculously together, it's still alive. You know, it's broken, it's still alive. No one's alive that has a thing called life. Beis Shammai says no. It's not. In the sense that man still can in his way, as long as he's alive, he has to handle things in the life force as it exists. Because we hold that it's impossible, that you cannot remove it totally. And Beis Shammai says it can. The question is not to mavatal the guf in that way, but to keep the guf alive and healthy, the body, but to elevate it and get the synthesis of the two worlds. His feet, or the sulam, is on the ground, and the head is in the shamayim. To do that is a very hard job also, but to totally remove the body and keep totally spiritual, very few people have succeeded in such a type of an experiment. And the reason being that it takes, first of all, it's a different viewpoint, and basically say we're not using the world that the Almighty created as it should be. And man was created as a human being, not as a malach, an angel. And therefore, we want of man to be man as man was created, to be the master of himself, and have the proper relationship of the soul and the body. If people try to use koyach hatuma in all types of other means, from Kabbalah, drugs, or whatever it may be, in order to somehow spiritually pull out the soul, or some experiment with the soul in any way, form, or being, thinking they're doing like Beit Shammai proposed, they're mistaken. Because Beit Shammai did it al pi Torah, al pi pshat, not only al pi Kabbalah, al pshat. They fasted, sigufim, didn't drink, didn't eat, didn't drink for the nefesh hatzomachas. They didn't drink about as far as the growth or the physical aspect of the body. They didn't eat, they didn't drink as far as the water of the body, which represents life, like animal life. Four people went into the Pardes until Rabbi Akiva said, Adkan, I can't go further. And he pulled out. All the rest failed. We're talking about great Tanoim. So who can match or explain that? Elamai, you want a quick puff or whiff of Olam Haba and Olam Hazeh. At what price and what cost? Because if it's not done properly, it creates koyach hatuma too. It's a sitra acher. And then what takes place is that koyach hatuma, the impure properties, get connected to the body, and the only time you can remove it is by paraduma, maybe, which we don't have today, or death. And maybe, perhaps, chesed v'emes, yechu paravam, somehow you can cleanse it. But what type of targum? Killing yourself totally to remove the sins of whatever it may be. And who has the ability to, or at least it can be done, but who has the ability to do that? And therefore, the position of Beit Shammai, is not practical, and very few people have done it. And it's much easier to do the position of Beis Hillel, and it's been successful. But with it, you need chokhmas haTorah, you need the wisdom of the Torah, you learn musar, you need all these factors. Anything else that's on your own, your ideas that you have, Kabbalah, so ideas you read in an English book, in a book on from San Francisco, Los Angeles, those areas of the latest ways of the mind and the soul and the body, whatever new methods they have there, You're in the wrong line. It's koach hatum. But to remain the body and the pleasure of the chomer, of the material, and the avas atzma, the love of oneself, is definitely not the way. Definitely makes a kilkul, destroys. Therefore, it's very important when we understand a chok. A chok means you have to limit yourself and say, I cannot go further. Don't try. Don't try. Even this explanation is only a little explanation. Don't try. Because if you try where it doesn't work, it doesn't make sense, if you believe religion is what people tell you, then nobody wants to be part of it. It's not games. It's not computers. It's not seeing how many times HaShem has mentioned the words. That's not Judaism. That's entertainment. They have today, a man came to Yerushalayim and he now takes the letters of the alphabet, or Torah alphabet, and gets it, divides it in three and puts it on a cube and a rhombus. What? Rubik's. And they now have all the language. They prove to you that from the Hebrew language, all the other languages, Greek and English, come from it. Like the other way around. From Greek, all the other ones come from. Well, it means it's no proof. It's nice. It's interesting. You can do a lot of things today with trick photography and all types of cubes and figure out. So what? If our religion is built, if somebody brings an os or mofes that with all these tricks and games and say, wow, Torah is great. Okay. A lot of ways why people come to religion. They want a place to sleep. You have a friend. But that's not the saleable item. If you think that's the saleable item, and that's what Torah is bringing them in, you make a mistake. Where's Shalom? Yeah. Shalom here. Shalom. And he asked me, what do we have to offer to the world? I was thinking about that. The other institutions have so many techniques of excitement, of bringing people to entertain them, to decide to learn. What do we have? And very simple. Really, it's two steps. That which we know how to do best, we should sell. And what do we know best is Torah. Sell Torah. Simple Torah. You had a Berch HaShmua, teach a Berch HaShmua, you'd be surprised. Try it out. Or something like that, get involved in a piece, then get involved in a text. Working on to see the beauty and the thing that can be there. Whatever you know well, any piece of Gemara or Chazal that's really true, you know well, teach that. The power of Torah itself has the power that gets us and all everybody. So it gets everybody. You teach Torah, it works. You don't have to have any tricks. For little kids up to 15, you need toys, games to teach them. At 15, you got to teach them something. So if like the Baba Botzer says, they came to the base medrash and they kicked the Rebbe out. Why? Because they weren't trained. Okay. But it's not tricks, Torah is straight. When the Torah is straight, it makes the heart happy. Now to package Torah in a way that's a Shulchan Aruch, that the table is open, it's sweet, it's proper, it's organized, but it has to be a word of Torah. It has to be strong and straight from the beginning. And it's not only coming from the heart, it has to be a word of Torah that comes from the heart. It has to be a word of Torah. Torah sells itself. Nothing has to sell itself. We don't have to be God's agents to trick people how to learn Torah and feel good about it. When you go to a concert, you also feel good. So this time they feel good about this, they feel good about that. Some stay, some don't stay. What percentage go through and don't stay? Quite a lot. But if you'll teach real Torah, then it should hit the Jewish heart, and at that point, a larger percentage should stay. And you have it hooked in, because the Torah itself hooks. It hits the soul, you win. But you play tricks on the emotions, and then the other people play other tricks, and the other tricks will then supersede. So the rule has to be What we do well is what we should do, and it should be Torah. Now, over here, it's the same thing. The soul and the body. You have to win at the Ish Matzliach. The way to win is through Beis Hillel. Most people fail Beit Shammai. So why do you want to do Beit Shammai? You think you're smarter? Because you want to be the king. You want to win the greatest winning. Damn it, first control yourself in the local scene. Take care of your wife and kids. Be nice to them, be kind to them, be kind to your friend. Be honest and just, whatever you're doing. Then play the big game. If you can't keep your household together, keep your own act together, and you're davening and praying, so what do you think? You're going to go for the big thing? Which very few people in the world have made. If you can't do the little scene, the Olam HaKatan, you want to do the Olam HaGadol. No, but I'll do the Olam HaGadol, win. Yeah, win. The odds are now that you failed in your track record. In the Olam HaKatan for yourself, you never control yourself with masturbation, you never control with the food, you never amass yourself, you couldn't learn to sit, you couldn't concentrate, you're already 45, 50, 70 already, and they're 35 and 18, you haven't even concentrated and studied. So now you're going to well, I'm going to sit down all day long, I'm going to fast and starve and learn all day long. Come on. Start with the Olam HaKatan and win. Do the Beis Hillel way. Win Beis Hillel and you're successful. You know, Kol HaTorah Kula. You're already 40 years second, you know, Kol HaTorah Kula. And now you want to learn Kol HaKavod. But nobody wants, everyone wants to happen before the time and before the right. What is an Aveira? An Aveira is somebody who wants to happen the meal before he has it. Before he's married, he wants to happen a woman, or before he knows something, he wants to happen Bein HaShmashos, certain types of food that may be a problem if it's kosher, if he makes tzedek or Rabbana, the Rabbanu, who knows, they want to happen. What do you have to happen for? Before this man. Everything, God has everything ready at the right time and the right way. It'll happen. What do you got to happen before this month? You're not ready. But you know why? Because Mayim Genuvim Yim Toku. Stolen waters are sweet. Of course. It's only a sickness. It takes a great person who's Yochid Bedoro. Everybody's special, of course. But to say he's Yochid Bedoro. Just Yochid Bedoro. You know, your Yochid's going to fail. It's guaranteed. I mean, Yochid Bedoro. It's foolish. It's foolishness. Mada with the Beis Hillel sheet, it's hard. Most people are going to fail, and it's better. Even going to Beis Hillel, he says better people not to live, because most people fail. So even going to sheet's Beis Hillel, most people fail. So you're going to say, you're going to do the Beis Shammai sheet? It's absurd. It's the sickness. Anybody even makes a stab, there's already a guy wants to walk a tightrope when he doesn't even have any balance, and he doesn't have any training, and he wants to perform in front of everybody. And everybody should already pay the money. He's ready to figure out how people are going to pay the money and watch him and be in the front page. How he's going to walk the tightrope. He never even has the proper shoes or the proper balance. He's overweight. And it's foolishness. It's stupidity. Why did I mention the tightrope? Because Yitzhak Petzberg said people live life, they have to walk the tightrope. And he went there just to see how the guy walks the tightrope, to see the Chochmas Hador, how he balances back and forth. You want to understand the Chochma, how do you walk the tightrope? And that's a master on his own. And we're not even the masters. We're so far from it that I'm going to do it. I'm going to succeed. I have already the newspapers, the television already sold the contracts already. For the scene, what's going to happen? They spent the money. Oh no, the whole story happening there. That's the story. That's us life. We got to change. And you make a long story short. We have to understand that when you do Maisa HaMitzvahs, it brings the Kedusha and puts it together, the soul and the body. You do Averas, it brings Korach HaTumah. You have to do things in order to get the proper balance. You have to get rid of the kin of Taiva Kovo. You have to have Anivas, and you have to have Savlonis, and you have to have Emunas Hashem. And you have bitachon, all these midos that we know we have to make your rots in order even to win in the game of Beis Hillel. And definitely if you're going to use Treifa method, how to win. Of course you're not going to. Why should you have Havamim? You're going to win. And remember, there's Chochma among the Goyim, right? But when they write their Chochma, you have to retranslate in your language. Their Chochma is for what purpose? To have nus and to go on evil things and to cheat and steal and enjoy pleasures in life. So when they're doing their chokhmah, they have certain goals in mind. Now you can use their wisdom if you know how to cut out the pleasure of the averis and the taivas and the lust in order to direct their wisdom in your Torah to use the chokhmah of the world to win your goal. But you think to use their chokhmah in our terms, and you say, well, I'm there and I'm already at ease, you're in a foolish ball game. I used to have chokhmah, but for what? It's for their goals and taivas, their lust and desire. You're going to use the chokhmah, and you have to know which part was added, and which part is trait, and which part is true, in order to win it for your case. It's quite a hard story to produce. It's that simple. The goal of a pastoral psychologist and a psychologist is a different goal. A psychiatrist is a different goal. Pastoral psychologist is interested, or a rabbi is interested in the shleimus adam, and get rid of averis and put the completeness. And the psychologist is interested in adjusting a little better, and feeling better, and bringing out rid of your frustrations and whatever it is. All these wonderful thoughts. But the goal is pleasure. The goal is get what you want. And what do you want? To be healthy, with the body and the soul fit together, which is only taivas and lust and desires. Of course, not to hurt people, and of course, not to affect people badly. Of course, that's understood. But you have to know what to do. I'll use there, very nice, but it's too system. You got to use it in a certain way. Anyway, I thought this was a good insight. I wanted to go further because I have to get involved with Bilam. Bilam was a Russia. Why was he a Russia? Because he had free choice. And his free choice was total free choice. And that's why he didn't want. That's why he figured if I have free choice, God cannot be in that place of free choice. And what do we do as religious Jews? We have free choice. And Bilam every 2 minutes says, but I said, I only do what God says, nothing more. And I already told you that. And he said he wants the free choice to get the hanos of the moment, to get the pleasure of the moment. He doesn't get later on he dies and gets killed. Right now, he's accepted as the hero, the great guy, and he's getting his pleasure. He doesn't have to have the money. Just that they promise to give the money is enough. Already it's in the newspapers, already is one. What does he need? He needs the money. What does he need it for? He wants the momentarily pleasures of that moment of what it is and nothing more. Sure, he'd like to have it continue. He knows that pleasures are momentarily. What do we want in our free choice? There's only one thing. We say it every morning, and that's what we say every morning. Every morning we have a special prayer. We say, HaShem, HaShem, you're so merciful. You're a Baal Chesed. You're such a big Baal Chesed, you're kind. And you give many chasadim tovim. And what is that? Please HaShem, push my Yetzer to worship you. It doesn't say, the Almighty, give me total free choice so I can win like Abraham won, and he had free choice and he won the 10 Nisyonos. I also want to now battle and win now and also be like Avinu and win 10 new Nisyonos, 10 new tests. What do we ask God? Hashem, please force my Yetzer to worship you. Make sure I don't meet good, bad friends. That my Yetzer shouldn't help me, that Yetzer doesn't run me. And I have good friends and good chaverim. And I should get the Yetzer telling why do we have to pray it for? As a rabbi, we want the free choice. Because there's no free choice. When you do wrong, what happens? You get punished. You do right, you get win. So you have the free choice to decide what you want to do. But at the end of everything, you have reward and punishment. So we have the Ratzon HaTov. We take our free choice for good. And he want to take his free choice for bad. Because if you want free choice, by definition, what do you want to do? What your taivas, what your chumris want, what your body wants. So the in and out should be the same. And you want to get that koyach hatuma quick, fast, immediately, a murder of happiness and pleasure for the moment. And that's why it's called a Russia. He quotes the name of God. I told you what everything God says, and of course. That's a Russia. Anyway, any questions yet? Sins of Adam HaRishon. Adam HaRishon before his sin.
And Hillel never had that problem because it's the highest point?
No, he said a different story. I talked about this years here. Hillel says since we sin, and the one who sins can take his donos to make it zechuyos, if we can take our lower position, reach higher heights, then I wouldn't say like that, but if you use the forces of Adam Arishon before the head, of course. But just to get there is not the goal. The goal is to reach high heights with it. So we can reach higher heights. I mean, to explain this. And you can reach higher heights in your system than just your whole goal is to reach the position where it was before the sin. The whole position of before the sin is what? To elevate you 10 times higher. But it's not just to get in that position. Your whole goal is not to pick yourself up, to bring you back where you were before, like Chadei Shemein Kekedem. But Chadei Shemein Kekedem is when you're in that position now to grow higher. But yeah, Shammai hold we want to reach the position of before the sin. That the body was the soul was the body was so and the soul was so pure. You can look right through the body. It had no home. It had no real materialism to the body. Pure spiritual. And the soul was like outside of the body. And it was only a little bush. But Hillel says no. After the sin, good. We can elevate ourselves higher than just go back to the position. If you go back, sure, if you were there and you want to elevate yourself very high, of course you'll reach higher heights. But just to get back there, you don't get back there. Use what you have to grow 10 times higher. Then you reach being in the position of the soul outside the body. But your soul's outside the body, now what do? I have to grow very high. But just to get there is not enough. That was the position of Shammai. I talked about this years ago. What? Shammai, let's get there in that position of before that, do that tikkun. That sort of thing.
Because you couldn't get higher with the...
No, you could, but then, you see, look, until the guy gets to that position, trying to use all his energy.
So, therefore, what, practical considerations between Hillel and Shammai?
That's right. He says, there was philosophical, should I just make the tikkun of the head? Or no, should they reach higher heights than before the head? So Hillel said, you got to reach high heights before the head, before the sin, which is taking the body together and reach high heights. And Shammai said, no, just do the tikkun of head. Remove the problem. Get rid of the disease. Because otherwise you have meter kidding. When you bring in sins, it's the worst thing in the world. Like we said, if one man will carry the shofar on Shabbos, Am Yisrael does not blow the shofar because we're afraid one Jew may do a sin. What the power of one sin is. He said, let's get rid of the tikkun haket. That's all. It's a big tikkun. A big thing. Changing one's midos as one character is one of the greatest things. Let's do the tikkun haket. That's enough. Baruch Hashem, that's the big thing. He says, no, that's not enough. Want to elevate us up, but not do that, and then that's the end. Want to reach higher. Sure, Shammai tells you if you reach it, you can go higher. But most of any issues will be just to reach that stage. All day long, running around to reach that stage. And meanwhile, what do you do? Do the easier thing, and do what you can do well, Shalom.